Hey guys, this is Hetu and welcome back to etlqalabs. So guys, today we will take up two interview questions, and those interview questions are very famous, right? So when you go for Selenium interview or automation testing, they you might expect this kind of questions, right? So coding question. So we will try to see how we can use our learnings into solving these problems, right? And then I'm very sure that whatever I have covered, based on that only we will be able to solve these two questions, right? So without any further ado, let's start, guys. Okay, so the first question is, we will check, given a number, find the factorial. Okay, find the factorial of that number. Okay. Okay, and second question is, check if the given number is a prime number. Okay, all right. So we will try to take up more and more questions, but for now, let's try to solve these two questions, right? So first, let me give you some background about this, mathematical calculation behind these two. So for should be number, okay. So for factorial, guys, what is factorial, right? So let's say if I say factorial of n, right? Factorial of n means it is basically starting from n and go backward, decrement each time by 1 and go up to 1 actually, right? All the way down to 1, right? So something like this, maybe just multiplying all the numbers, right? Something like this, maybe you can say 2 into and then again into 1. So this is called the factorial, right? So for example, if I say factorial of 4, right? So what should be the factorial of 4, guys? Factorial of 4 should be 4 into 3 into 3, sorry, 2 into 1, right? So this is the factorial of 4, something like that. So it should basically start from the number and it should go backward and multiply all those numbers, right? Up to 1, right? So because if we go to 0, then it will be 0, right? So that's why we have to go up to 1, right? So how much it is? 4 3s are 12 and 24, right? This is 24, something like this. So for example, if I say 5 factorial, then it should actually be 5 into 4, 4 factorial maybe, yeah. So it will be 5 into 24. This is the answer. Okay, hope you are able to get it right. So guys, you see that we will actually solve this problem. We will get a number and we will be given a number and we'll try to count the factorial, right? So now let's try to first, okay, so let me give you some background about this prime number also, right? And then we will go back to solving the question directly. So prime number is a number, guys, okay? Prime number which has exactly two factors, okay? This is the official definition, guys, right? So which has exactly two factors. So when I say 1, do we have two factors? So it should actually two factor is starting from 1, right? So for example, if I say 1, does it have two factors? No. So 1 modulo. So what does it mean by factor, guys, right? Factor is basically when you take the modulo, the remainder should be 0, right? So modulo of, let's say, 5, remainder of 2. If I say, what is the remainder? Remainder will be 1, right? Because this will be 2 to the 4 and the remainder is 1, right? Something like that. So let's say 3 modulo 2. What is the remainder, guys? It's 1, right? Something like that. 6 modulo 2. I will just take, let's say, 6 modulo 3. Then what will the remainder here? Remainder will be 0. Why? Because this is completely divisible, right? Okay, so no remainder. Something like that, right? So the definition is it should have exactly two factors, right? Two factors means basically when you divide that particular number, it should have only um, it should be fully divisible, right? That is what the factor, right? The number is fully divisible. So for example, if I say 1, can you check whether 1 is a prime number, right? So if I say 1 modulo 1, okay, so this is going to be giving 0, okay, so this is one factor. And then do we have any other number to divide by 2? No, right? 1 cannot be divided by 2, right? I mean, this number is, I mean, basically number is smaller, right? Like that, let's say 2, right? So 2 can be actually having two factors, right? So 2 modulo 1, which is actually 0, right? And then 2 modulo 2, which is also 0. So we have two factors here, which means we are able to, we are actually getting two factors, which means 2 is a prime number, right? Similarly, let's say if I say 4, right? Do we have many? So 4 modulo 1, which is 0, and then 4 modulo 2, which is again 0, then 4 modulo 3, which is 1, right? And then 4 modulo 4, which is 0. So how many factors we have? 1, 2, 3, right? So we have three factors because this is not factor, because this is not completely divisible, right? So that's why 4 is not a prime number. Okay, hope you are able to get the concept, guys, right? So if I say which are the prime numbers, so it's a 3, 5, 7, 11, something like that, right? So these are the prime numbers, guys. Okay. Okay, so let's try to solve these questions, okay, in your ID, and then we will try to, so you got the underlying concept about these two, right? Mathematical concept. Let's try to go and solve it, right? So the first one, what we are going to do is we are going to get a factorial, right? So I'll just take number, let's say I'll take 5, all right? I want to actually get the factorial of 5. So what I have to do in this case, I have to actually make it 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So what exactly I'm going to do, guys, here? If I say, if I need to, okay, all right. Let me comment it. So what exactly I have to do? I have to, I can, in fact, I can write the same thing 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, right? Which means, can I run my for loop is starting from 1 and I will go all the way down, all the way up to number, right? And that should be solving my problem. So let me take one variable called fact. Okay, this will actually, or let me say answer. Okay, so I actually want to store the answer, okay, in this one. So answer I will start with 1. So if I multiply anything with 1, so it doesn't matter, right? So if I say for int I, as I'm going to start from I 1, and then I am going to go all the way up to n, because I am actually including 5 also. See, as part of my factorial, 5 is also part of it, right? So actually it should start from 1 and it should go up to 5, right? Less than or equal to. If I say less than n, which means it will take up to 4 only. That's why I have to say less than equal to 5, n, right? N is 5 anyways, right? And then I increase each time this I value by 1, right? So it will be first time starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, right? Now, what I have to do, I have to say answer. How my answer is going to be increased? So answer will be answer into I, correct? Because first time what will happen? Answer equal to 1, right? And then multiplying by 1. Then next time answer will be answer equal to 1 into next time 2, and the next time 3, something like this it will work, right? So it will be like if I say outside, I come out and then I just print it, system dot out dot print, all right, print. And then if I say answer, what should I get, guys? I should actually get factorial of 5. I think it should be 125 at 124, I guess. Yeah, let me try to run it, what we are getting. Let me see. Perfect, 120, right? Factorial of 5. If I say factorial of 10, let's see what we get. I have not even calculated. I think you guys can do it, but let's see what it gets. Yeah, this is really huge number. Let me try to say 2. What is the factorial of 2? So it should be obviously 2, right? 2 into 1, right? Right? So this seems to be working, right? So this is the way actually you can explain in the interview, right? I mean, how do you get the factorial of a given number, right? So this is how actually you can. All right, guys. I hope that this is very clear to you, right? Let's take up the second question, guys. What is the second question? We have to check whether a given number is a prime number or not, right? So what is prime number? I already told you, right? So for prime number, we need to have uh, only two factors, right? Factors are what? The number should be completely divisible, right? uh, Completely divisible. So prime number only, oh, I will say exactly two factors, right? This is the correct definition, guys, right? So okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start answer equal to 0 because I have to count literally the factors, right? In this case, let's say I'm just going to say 7, guys. Let's see. Okay. So what I told you, you have to actually start dividing that number from 1 up to that particular number, right? And then you actually count how many factors, right? So this is correctly all right. Okay. What I have to change it here. Actually, I have to do one thing. I have to use also if else, right? So if n modulo I, okay, because what I have to do is n modulo I equal to 0. What I have to do is I have to take each of this number. So for example, 7 modulo 1, 7 modulo 2, 7 modulo 3, 7 modulo 4, 7 modulo 5, 7 modulo 6, 7 modulo 7, right? And then in case where I am getting, n modulo I, uh, I'm getting 0, which means it is completely divisible. That is the actually count I am going to. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll take inside and I will say answer equal to answer plus 1. Okay. So in this case, I'm starting from 0 and wherever I'm finding that, this particular number is completely divisible, right? That is one factor and then I'm increasing the factor by 1, right? Now let's see what happens, guys. Okay. I mean, this is okay. One second, what we get it. One second, guys. One second. Mm, 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 mm. All right. Oops. Now let's see. We get two factors, right? Two factors. Oh, perfect. So we get two factors for 7, right? What about 6? Let's see. We are getting 4 factors, right? Which is correct, right? So actually, what I have to do is after getting the count factors, what I have to do, I have to again say if else condition, right? Because if I say if answer, which means factor equal to 2, if factor equal to 2, then only it is prime number, right? Then I have to say system dot out dot print. Okay, I will say n is a prime number. Okay, all right. Otherwise, I will say if it is not, then it will go to else, and I will say is not a prime number. Is not a prime number. Okay, perfect. If my factors are only 2, then only it is prime number, otherwise not, right? Hope this will work. Okay, let's try to see. So what I have to do, I have done it here. Hope you are able to understand it. 6 is not a prime number, it says, right? Let me try to say about 3. Okay, 3 obviously we know that it's prime number, so let's see what it gives you. Perfect, right? This is giving you prime number. Let me try to do 1. Okay, I think ideally 1 is not a prime number anyways, we know that, right? Because it is having only one factor, right, starting from 1, so it's not a prime number, right? So I think we are very clear about this prime number and how we have solved this, right? So what we have done here, guys, okay, so what we have to do is we have to actually first count the factors, and the factors should actually start from 1 and it should be up to that particular number, and each time I have to divide that number from starting from 1 up to that number, and then if it is completely divided, then that is a factor, and in that case I have to just add into answer. Answer is starting from 0, I have to just increase it, right? So, or I can also write like this, guys, plus plus, which means I am just increasing it by 1, right? And then after for loop, right? So we are able to actually count all the factors now in answer, and then I come out of this loop and I just check whether answer equal to 2. If it is answer equal to 2, then it is prime number, and if not, then it is not a prime number. So let me try to run it even one more time. All right, one is not a prime number. So guys, let me try to check one 17. I think 17 is also a prime number. Let's see whether we are getting correct or not. Right, this is a prime number. So I hope that you are able to understand it. I think this is these two questions are really important question from interview point of view, right? So that is the reason I think I covered it. And if you look at this, I have just used for loop and if else condition, right? And this is the only thing, right? So that's why I was telling you guys, keep telling you guys, just try to learn what I'm teaching you, because these are the very important questions, I think, wherever you go for interview, right? So based on this if else while loop, if I teach you later, right? So all this conditional and looping, based on this, I think you will be able to solve most of the questions, right, in interviews, right? So that's all for this video, and I'll see you soon with the next video. I think there are a lot other concepts to cover, but I really hope that you practice and you become good and good every time, right? Okay, so that's all for this video, and until we meet next time, happy learning. Bye.